VP Ultimate pit lane is open, and we're counting down to a pole position award, ultimately for Boost Mobile, for our 14th race of the championship season. We've got 34 of them this year, and so this is an elimination qualifying process that we're about to go through. So we've got an extra car here this weekend in Lockie Dalton, 25 cars in the field. He's driving for Tickford. Great to have him involved in what we're doing this year, and he's a guy that we've seen doing very well through junior categories and in Dunlop Super 2. Of that, Garth, effectively meant that they missed a practice session. So they were using it, as you do with practice, as a test session to look, listen and learn. How's this for a traffic jam? Oh, I'm going to be arriving down there, threading the needle, and that could be so close to being a shunt. So close. That's awkward when you're out of sequence, and we've seen this on occasion. And one of the things I highlighted in my pre-race notes, in bold with the highlight pen, with the fluoro pink, traffic. It's a big story at this racetrack, and it is right now out there at the moment. 1.5 minutes remaining in this session, and remember, it's a progressive qualifying that we're dealing with here. So we're looking to focus on those on the totem that you can see where the red line separates the top 10 from the whole field of 25. You want to be in that top 10 at the end when the checkered flag drops.
Young Kai Allen, we haven't made the point so far. He's on a very good lap, and he's actually second at the moment. He's just dropped out because Randall's gone to the top with the 54.4. So Randall, Payne, Allen, Forward, Brown, Percat, Feeney, Courtney. Now, Courtney was fastest in the first sector and the second sector. Kai Allen now to the top. That's very impressive because Manny Payne was very fast, but Kai was not very fast yesterday, but he certainly is right now. Cam Waters has improved markedly. Macaulay Jones up 17 spots, and Brock Feeney is on a very good lap.
That's the fastest time that we've seen so far this weekend, at 54.1 here for Kai Allen. Ryan Wood's on a very quick lap out here at the moment as well.
30 seconds.
Heard the race management channel can call in the background to say that we're 30 seconds to run to the checkered flag, and then there'll be laps to be completed as well. So Allen over Matt Payne, who's also flying out there at the moment, has just gone quicker than his own teammate Brock to the top on a 54 flat. We are possibly going to get into the high 53s on current estimate, and straight away as I say it, Ryan Wood 53.8, 0.2 of a second, handy number for him. Here's the checkered flag. Lap still to be completed as we pick up on David Reynolds. Tradie Energy car this weekend is pink, and for the next 4 race meetings beyond this one, celebrating the creamy soda product that they have. Cam Waters up into position number 6 in the monster car. David Reynolds in the game here in the 10. Remember, it's the cut-off that matters. Di Pasquale's out at the moment, so it's Wood from Payne, from Allen, from Feeney. Mostert, strong here last year. Kostecki just bowls into position number 5 nicely. So outside at the moment, we've got Reynolds and Hill. How's that for a job for Brycey Forward? Up into position number 5. Handsome work.
Nice job. That's a very impressive lap by Bryce Forward. And that's punched Percat and David Reynolds out. Now, Will Brown, who comes up 5 spots into 5th. Thomas Randall now, who was very fast yesterday, way down in 14th.
Roski's one of the photographers there on the right-hand side of screen as the VP Ultimate pit lane gets ready to fire everybody back out now to determine the Boost Mobile pole for the 14th race of the championship season. Mark, big step up from yesterday's numbers and more in line with what we've seen from the behaviour of the soft tyre at the other events that we've been to this year.
Exactly. So basically the fastest time from yesterday, 54.39, we've just done a 53.84, so just over half a second faster. So you can see them weaving. So we've seen some do their best lap on their second lap. What they're doing is they're not optimizing the first lap, and they're trying to phase the tyre. We talk about it all the time, trying to get the front tyre temperature and pressure up to optimize the braking and start this lap.
Now Waters is on a lap here in the background, so he's just gone super quick in the mid-sector of the racetrack, and that's from the peak at turn 5 to halfway down the back straight, and that pumps him up into position number 2. So he splits the Penrite cars. He's done a 53.9. That's a very nice number. He's got an interesting approach into that final corner too, Cam Waters. So now we've got Payne from Waters, from Allen. We saw the shot a few moments ago of Bryce Forward. He's out of the car just watching all the excitement unpack. So too both the Penrite drivers. Top of the hill here for Feeney.
This is the lap, and that's Feeney, fastest in the first sector. So that's already shown that warm-up method that they've used is paying dividends. Now, does that make the car live? Because they haven't used it for a second lap, Neil. The rear tyre should be in better shape. Kostecki now has done a beautiful job. So's Mostert. Mostert now the fastest car in Sector 1.
Critically into the final corner here for Feeney, who so far this year has had 5 Boost mobile poles. You hear the car strike the top of the curve out the other side, and he's done a 3.8. So it's Brock to the top now with the provisional pole. From Payne, from Brown now up into position number 3. Kostecki rounding out the last corner, and did he use too much of the track then? Kostecki to the top on a 53.7, and Mostert responds with a 3.6. It is so tight. It's 8/100ths of a second, and Woody jumps up onto the front row as well. It's a carbon copy of 2024. What an intense conclusion. 30 seconds to go in the session.
30 seconds.
Mostert, Wood, Kostecki, Feeney.
He's still going. Will Brown's still going, Neil, so don't write this one off, because we saw yesterday the second lap sometimes gives you a yield. At the moment, it's a WAU front row with Mostert and Wood. Kostecki, remarkable job. Feeney, now Brown. What's that number look like for Brown? Can he get it out of the last turn? And it's a 43.11. No, it's not. It's 500 slower, stays in 6th spot.
Close pit exit.
Andrew Edwards in the Red Bull Ampol Racing bunker, and Chaz Mostert's pretty satisfied with that. Richard Harris on the left of screen. Ryan Walkinshaw there as well, together with Bruce Stewart, who's the CEO. Now, Golding's still completing a lap. He's just gone by the com box, and he's punched out a 54.5. So James stays in position number 10. So that's a pole position for Chaz Mostert. Congratulations to him. Fine work. It moves his career tally on to 26, and that is a nice job.
I'm back.
That last pole for him was in fact here last year, Mark. So 12 months since he last achieved that.
Will Brown,
Open
0.26 away from his
Pit
best,
is now open.
and Waters, 0.21 away from his best. So those three have big gains to make if they can put their sectors together.
Some impressive numbers there in terms of repeatability and accuracy in putting together your lap. Just a reminder of the scenario with the Repco Supercars Championship point score, plus 33 for Brock Feeney over his teammate Will Brown after Tasmania. Matt Payne, by virtue of the victory in Tasmania, shuffles it up into position number 3 from Waters. Mostert, who's quick so far today.
Certainly is. It's probably the biggest sand trap of any of the places that we go to. Oh, that was massively wide, and that's wrecked it, because with only a minute to go now. Mostert 6.
59 seconds remaining to get to the line.
So he'll have to go too fast to get back.
So that was Sam Scafidi on the radio. We've got him on screen there at the moment, and he said stay up it. So
yeah,
get on with it, because we've only got, at that stage, 59 seconds to go. So that does compromise the cool out slightly. So he has to roll out sufficiently not to take too much out of the tyre. At least if you're going to bowl a wide here, do it at turn 1, because otherwise, if you do it later in the lap, you've eaten more of the tyre. So Chaz has played the game long enough to try and find a way to retrieve that. 30 seconds remaining now, and this is going to sort out who's in and who's out. At the moment, Ryan Wood still parked up, game over. He stayed there. They've played that game of cards pretty well. But Brodie Kostecki's flying in position number 9 at the moment. On these numbers, there's a big chance to advance. Will Brown's just come up 18 spots into position number 3. Cam Waters is flying in the mid-sector. He's about to complete his lap here on the exit of turn number 7, and he moves up into position number 1. 53.8. Randall, his teammate, joins in. 5/100ths is the margin. Kai Allen splits them. Beautiful job with a 53.8. Brodie Kostecki does close that deal, and he's done a 53.7 for an 8/100ths margin over Cam Waters. Well done. So Brodie flying out there. It's constantly changing now as Nick Percat creeps into the 10. Mostert is out, but Mostert is on a lap. And is it going to be a strong enough lap for him to retrieve, remembering that he had to abort, cycle the tyres and go again. So this is sudden death for him. Last corner. Is it going to be good enough? He used second gear, then pulled third before he got to the ramp on the curb, and no. Position number 11. Not enough. And look at the look on Bruce Stewart's face.
Yep.
That's a heavy sigh for him. Yeah, well, that's an interesting question that you were just posing to the boys then, but certainly the base seems to be loaded in favour of Ryan Wood when you consider what he's got in terms of tyres in the background. But we're about to have a moment of truth here to see exactly how that plays out. We're looking forward to it, Jess, thank you. So we've got another 10-minute session, but they Well, it'll be interesting to see how they also play this. Do you just go out there now, get your clear air and go bang, pull the trigger, done? Or you go out there on an older tyre and get a bit of a feeling, but then you risk, if anyone goes off the edge of the road, pulls any junk onto it, that can be a factor as well. Here we go. Nice calm words from Jack Bell in the background. Just slow it down, get ready, you've got time for one more. As we jump on board here, let's see what Woody can do. Turn 2 and 3, it's on the rev limiter, on the run into the left-hander at turn 4, feeds it third gear, runs it tight through here, gets that throttle up early, looking for the short shift to fourth over the top of the hill. Turn 5, it's got a tiny bit of oversteer in it, but he stays committed to the throttle. Plunging down the other side now at 220 Ks, it's online, looking for that apex that's deep and a long way around the corner. Out the other side, trying to find your way to 100% throttle as early as you can by a millimetre.
Nice.
He's done the fastest first sector of anybody out there. He's done the fastest second sector of anybody out there. He runs it deep and hard into the final corner.
30 seconds.
He makes his apex. He manages track limits. It smashes into the top of the curve, and Woody does a 53.8. He's got a quarter of a second over Waters at the moment, and there's an eruption of emotion inside the garage at Walkinshaw. He might have done enough. 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5. They're happy campers in there at the moment. The checkered flag's about to come out.
Checkered flag,
Waters
close exit.
out of the final corner for Cam, and that lap is a 4.3. It doesn't improve on his best. He's on the front row at the moment on a 4.1. There are still those completing their laps, so let's not just write this one off just yet. This is a very, very good lap. Let's see what can happen here. You cannot get ahead of yourself in this game. It's a nail-biter. The flag's done. This is a completion of laps for those that are having a big charge at the moment. Manny Payne comes up into position number 4.
P4 there, P4, well done, well done.
Great job.
Massive
Congratulations, and what a big career moment for this young man. That's an extraordinary story, and well managed on the lap, well managed strategically with the tyre management going into this session, and a huge moment for the 21-year-old from Wellington in New Zealand. And it is going to be his 38th supercar race today. It'll be the 39th one that he starts from the pole position, and there'll be a lot of people be pretty proud of that effort out there today, and all congratulations to him. That's a great result for what has been very hard work from him for a while.